pleasure to have here an author and a motivational speaker. Adaobi is the author of the book Reinvent Yourself, Discover the Brilliance Within and Create Infinite Possibilities. So welcome, Adaobi, to the show. Really nice to see you.
Thank you very much, Harry.
And today we're going to have an amazing discussion, and we're going to go directly straight away. 5 steps how you reinvent yourself and motivate people. And for that, we have an amazing story that Adaobi is going to share with us. I think that Adaobi was sharing with me that sometimes in life you're not happy where you are, and you always have a dream of what you want to be. You want to be a motivational speaker, you want to speak around the world, but somebody in childhood or during your life, it told you that you cannot do that you're not good enough, that this is not possible. So Adaobi, can you share with us, because how today we're going to be discussing in these 5 steps to reinvent yourself, your process, how you become an international motivational speaker that has spoke over 10,000 people in India, Dubai, London several times, even in our events. Yeah. So how you pulled this off in less than 2 years after you published your book, Reinvent Yourself, and what was the first step? Where your life was before? What happened? It was an accident. What happened to you that managed that? And then, so what really happened, Adaobi, and how you took the decision that after this setback, I'm going to become an international motivational speaker and I'm going to travel the world. Can you share your story with us, please?
Where would you like me to start, Harry?
Well, I think that the place to start is when was Christmas Day. So what happened in Christmas days, and we take it from there.
Well, Harry, I will do that. But first of all, is it okay to tell them where I used to be before Christmas Day?
Excellent. Yes. Go for it.
Well, in life, we have time that our life is like on hold. I was at that stage where everything was just flat. I had no motivation. I had no plan of tomorrow. I just live day by day by day. Same thing. Do you know what it feels like?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's just
it's like you're stuck.
I was stuck in life. But I didn't even know I could reach out to somebody to help me. I didn't know I could live differently until Christmas was coming. That was in 2017. And I said, I am going to have the best Christmas. Can you imagine? I was stuck from being stuck and I want to have the best Christmas. Sometimes when you don't clear your cobwebs, you will have something stuck in that cobweb that is going to sting you. You know, just like the spider. The spider set those cobwebs like a trap. I wanted to put my angel, my tree. I have a Christmas tree that is 7 feet tall. And I said, I am going to make sure the kids enjoy this Christmas. But I wasn't thinking of myself. Lo and behold, I was going towards the Christmas tree. And I just fell. Can you imagine? I didn't even know what was happening, but I just lost my balance. And I told my son to call 999. Before the ambulance came, I was already dead.
Oh.
Yeah, I was dead. I was thinking that I'm going to spend the evening drinking champagne.
Wow.
That was my plan to do my shopping, come back and just watch till the Christmas come. Like after 12 o'clock. But all that ain't happening. I was dead and the ambulance took me to the hospital. Fast forward the time. In hospital, they wanted to switch my life support off because I had suffered not one, Harry,
Wow.
not two, not three, not four. I suffered 5 cardiac arrests.
Wow.
Do you know what cardiac arrest means? It means my heart stopped completely, and that is death. But when I had my life, I hadn't used it, and I was waiting for this life to end in a very horrific way. Harry, it was then in my coma that I learned that I was just seeing vision because I was going through this tunnel. This tunnel was big. People were rushing. Me, I was following them.
Wow.
But you know, I then looked and I saw my father that has been dead for 45 years. He died when I was young, very young. I don't even remember his face very well. But I saw him and it just touched me. I said, wow, why is my father touching me? He's dead. I have nothing to do with the dead people.
Wow.
But somehow when it touched me, I felt calmness and it gently led me to this room. That was the room where I was talking to this light. He was talking to me, calming me down. Then in between, I now remember that when I was feeling down, stuck, I was thinking of what was the point of living? I wanted to kill myself.
Wow.
Have you ever felt a situation where you feel that your life is completely gone, finished? That was how I felt then. But in this instance, I was even begging God. I said, please, I don't want to die. And I made a deal with God. I said, God, if you save me from dying, I'm going to change. Do you know, just making deal with God was when I was in the coma. I think because there was silence, since nobody was there, I was just talking to God. Sometimes when you are silent, when you are calm, God talks to you and you listen. Because sometimes people pray. You are talking too much. Sometimes just pray and be quiet. And that was when God instructed me that I have to change my life. And I said, yes, I need to change it. When I woke up from my coma, because I've been in 2 months in a coma, and the doctor came to me and said, Adaobi, thank God you are awake. You have been with us for over 2 months. You've been in a coma. And I saw the doctor and I said, oh my God, this is an alien. Because the people I saw in my coma, they were different human beings. They look like fluid, like in a transparent,
Yeah.
They were like moving like this. And I thought that was my world. I was afraid of my doctors because I thought they were the alien. And I wanted to go back to my coma. But when they all rushed to me and started talking to me, I think they knew. I think that's what happens to people when they come out of coma, because they've been in another world. So they have to quickly hold me. It was so bad that I even broke one of the doctor's glasses.
Wow.
Yeah, because I
didn't know where you were, right?
No, I was pushing them, fighting them, because I thought I don't want to be touched by aliens.
Yeah.
Even
like you wake up in another world, yeah?
Yeah, even the doctor later was trying to sue me for breaking.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and my husband said, no, you cannot do that because we're sorry, we pay whatever it is. And the hospital now said, no, it's not her fault. She was in a coma. Don't worry.
For 2 months, right?
Yeah. So that was when I learned that life is there for you to live. If you're not living this life, you are just not connecting with your inner being.
Yeah. I agree, Adaobi, 100% with you. And thank you very much, Vicky, And Ben Guarnera, Alex, also, they are joining us from Facebook. Thank you so much. And if you have a question for me, for Adobe to answer, she's an international motivational speaker, the author of the book Reinvent Yourself. And today we are discussing the 5 steps how to reinvent yourself and motivate people. And Adobe just break down with us the first step. So the first step, Adobe, to motivate, to reinvent yourself and motivate people is to do this massive change in your life and decide that you want to go for it. For example, I always like in your talks when you say, don't wait until life give you a hard time to become who you want to be. If you want to become a motivational speaker, if you want to become an international speaker, if you want to write your book, right? Is rather than, I know that this thought is always holding you in your mind, when I'm going to do it, am I good enough? But then Adobe has this situation after surviving 5 heart attacks. Like she said, well, now that I almost die, I really want to live. I really want to do what I want in my life. I'm going for it. And since then, the process has been amazing. She has speaking all over the world and internationally, even going with us to speak internationally in Dubai. And he spoke in front of thousands of people, and there is no any event promoter, I think, in the world that Adobe has talk with them and they're approaching them and they're inviting her again and again to speak about her story. So the first of the 5 steps how to reinvent yourself and motivate people is to take the decision that you're going for it. You want to live your life. You're going to share your message with the world no matter what, and nothing's going to stop you, right? So, and Adobe's advice for that is don't wait until you almost die. Don't wait until you have 5 heart attacks. Don't wait for that. Today, you can decide, I'm living my life. I want to live my dream. I'm going for it. And I will decide, I will do whatever it takes. So out of these 5 steps, how to reinvent yourself and motivate people, we have the first step, which is go for it. Change. You can do it. Everyone can do it, Adobe.
Yes.
Now, what would be the second step, Adobe, is like, obviously, you need to always look at a role model, like a mentor, because, okay, you want to change your life. You want to become an international speaker. You want to travel a world. You want to write a book, reinvent yourself. Like, you look amazing, although I have to say, yeah, in your book, you look amazing. So what was the process that you had to, okay, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to do what I love. I want to share my message with the world. I want to speak in stages all over the world. So what was the second step that you took in order to take you from A to B?
The second step I took is to have my dream come to light, because I had dreams about what I want to do, about where I want to be, but I didn't have a pathway to get to this dream. And in the past, I used to just live there thinking, oh, it doesn't matter. But the things I learned in my coma was that you have to follow your dream and write it down, because sometimes if you don't write it down, you forget. Write it down so that it can start coming to life, because when you write it down, it's not like vision board, but you need to have a pathway on where you want your dream to take you, on how you want your life to be. Once you start seeing the picture of where the end product is going to be, this dream will now start manifesting. And once your brain is there, you will find the universe putting you in connection with your dream. So that's the
100% agree, Adobe. 100% agree. So basically, it's not about, okay, I want to live my life. Yeah, but how you want to live it. So what do you really want? So it's very important for every single one of you to write your goals, to write exactly what do you want? Because I agree 100% with Adobe. Once you write this down, your brain starts to absorb these ideas. For example, if Adobe wrote, I want to write the book, okay? It doesn't matter how. It's already in her brain, and she will find the way. I want to become an international speaker. I want to travel the world. I want to help women. I want to empower women. And all these goals, which is the new life that you're inventing yourself, has to be written, because once you read them and you, when you wake up in the morning, you see those goals again and again and again and again and again. There is something will happen in your life that will attract that. I have an amazing story about that. When I wrote my Facebook, right? The publisher, it was crazy. It was really expensive. It was like 60,000 pounds. It was really expensive, and it was something interesting happened. I said, I'm gonna do it no matter what. And after I took the decision, I closed a business with the pub here in London that gave me exactly the amount to pay for the book. And after I paid for the book, then the pub was closed after. So it's just by putting in your mind that you want to do something, somehow things will appear in your life that will make that happen. So remember, the step number 2 of the 5 steps how to reinvent yourself and motivate people is actually write down your goals. All your goals, and like Adobe shared with us, is more than a vision board. Is you wake up, you see it, you write it down, and again and again and again, every single morning, writing these goals will allow you to your brain to absorb what you really want, and when the opportunity comes, then we'll give you this option. Yes. So Adobe, I want you to share now with us the step number 3, which is something that has, in my opinion, pushed and start your motivational speaking career, which is when you wrote this book, Reinvent Yourself. So the step number 3, I will agree with you that will be write your book. So how, after one of those goals that you had there, it was writing a book. So how you came from an idea to actually make it happen, how it's here, selling it in Amazon, it has become Amazon bestseller, and it's in the biggest bookstores in Ireland, the book next to Michelle Obama, next to the greatest authors in this planet. So how it came this book from one idea to actually make it happen, right? And have it published.
I have always wanted to write a book, but what I did was that I found a mentor. I had the book in me, but I found a mentor, and my mentor was Lele Patrasco, and Harry Sardinis. Mm-hmm. So they supported me in putting my ideas into a book, because what happened to me is something that will help others. Some people suffer heart attack or cardiac arrest, and they are in a vegetative state. They can't help themselves. But since I had written Reinvent Yourself book, I have been able to support other people that have done it. And I have left a legacy. Today, my book will speak for me even in 50 years' time.
Exactly.
So finding a mentor will bring out the best in you. Mentor is not just talking. They help you to ask questions. And when they're asking, you remember that you have that in you. So having that in you from writing down, you see how it goes to find a mentor, and the mentor will bring it out and now show it to the world. That was how my book became an Amazon bestseller all over the world. And this book has been helping so many people in India, Dubai, in many places in the UK. My book is a go-to, number 1, for solving problems with how to deal with challenging health situations or even tragic situations, because mine was tragic. How many people do you know that have survived 5 cardiac arrests or heart attacks? So there goes. Put your story in a book, but find a mentor first. A mentor will help to go a long way.
Excellent, Adaobi. Thank you very much. And then there you go. So the step 3 is writing a book and find a mentor for it. So what I'm saying is that obviously, I think that the title of your book, Reinvent Yourself, is a great way to actually motivate people, because sometimes we are stuck in life. Life is not moving, and we need something to take us to the next level. We need like a wake-up call. And Adobe's message all over the world is giving this wake up call to people, like, look, you deserve a better life, you deserve to be happy, you deserve to go for it, you deserve to follow your dreams. And that is the work that she has done in this book, Reinvent Yourself. And I think that in terms, when you become an author, right, then people start to take you seriously. And since Adobe published this book, she has been invited to stages all over the world and to speak about her book, about her story, and to empower people how to reinvent yourself and motivate them to take that action. So for that, mentoring, finding a coach, finding a mentor, is something that we facilitate this process. In your opinion, Adobe, the working with a mentor like Lily, how was this process, and how you both came with this amazing idea to publish that title, which is now your brand, yes, and take it to the next level. I always said that step number 4, and it's something that Adobe has very, very good, is build your brand as motivational speaker. And everything started with the book, but in that process of building your brand, Adobe, you have been invited to several award ceremonies here in London. You have been invited to a TV. So can you please share with us how this process from mentoring to writing the book until actually building your brand as a motivational speaker?
As a motivational speaker, our picture is gold, white, and black. You can say. So in all the things that I do, people, once they see those colors, they know me. And in all the things I do, I always talk about reinvention. Because,
exactly.
Yeah, because reinvention or reinventing yourself is the best thing you can do. So my brand speaks about it. I talk about anything I do. It's about how you can reinvent yourself. Sometimes when I don't, I have Harry to remind me to do it. So when you have a brand, you have to be consistent with the brand. Also with the colors, your message, and places to go. Don't just accept to go to places that will not feature your brand, because there are certain places that agree with my brand, because it's about changing life and about reinventing. So I go there, show up there, and the more you show up and helping others, even my YouTube page, those are the things that helps, and it keeps me consistent. So having a brand that agrees with your colors and what you talk about is very important.
Okay, thank you very much. And then Adobe, because of that brand, can you share with us in how many TV interviews have you done? How many times you've been invited to a TV, or how many awards have you received in London? Just to people, just to be grateful for what you do, for what you represent, for your message. And also, share with us, you went in the newspaper in India as well. Yeah. So building your brand is not only writing a book, it's not only speaking around the world. So what else have you done in order to build that brand?
Oh, ever since I became a brand, I have been invited just by what I do to India, where I spoke in 10 schools, 10 very big schools. Some of the schools I spoke to about 3,000 people in one school. So can you imagine 10 schools? So about over 10,000 people. But the papers in India, they got wind of it and they put me in their magazine.
Wow.
You know, and after that, when I left India, I was invited to Dubai. In Dubai, and it's because of my brand as well, I was able to speak to people all over the world and on stage, and also people were watching me online. And it was during the pandemic. Then on the total, and in London, I spoke to many places, many events. But having this brand has won me about 20 awards.
Wow.
What about 20 awards?
20 awards.
Yes.
Wow.
And I've also been featured in the Indian magazine. I've been featured in Loani magazine. And I've been featured in Powerhouse Global magazine. So in all these ones.
And several TV interviews also.
Yeah, several TV interviews, you know. And I've also been able to go from there. People like me so much that they invite me to moderate their events. I also act as an MC. I moderate events. And I'm also a presenter. People call me to present awards to others. So can you imagine coming from this background of near-death experience? Who would have thought, Harry?
Exactly.
That I would do all that.
Amazing, Adaobi. We are very proud, very happy for you. And we are going to dive in now in the fifth step, which is the one I think that what you're looking for, which is how to become a speaker. So the fifth step to reinvent yourself and motivate people is actually become a speaker. And we always share with people that speaking is like driving or riding a bicycle. So the more you practice, the better you become. So Adaobi, in your career as a speaker, share with us, because you have been speaking in several countries, right? I remember you have speaking in several countries. So you have been training very, very well in your stories, how to deliver that. So tell us, for example, you have been also as a keynote speaker. People have even paid you for you to speak. So now, what is your journey in terms of speaking? Which countries do you like to? Would you like to visit to speak? What countries? What experience can you share with us as a speaker? How do you feel on the stages now compared to before? Yes, and even in the online conference. So share with us the last step of the fifth steps, how to motivate and how to reinvent yourself and motivate people. So as a speaker, how you train yourself as a speaker, how you prepare, and do you prepare different when you're going to online or to the stages? Share with us a little bit more.
Interesting. When I came into speaking, I had never spoken because I thought they were just people that were born as speakers. I didn't know you could learn it. I remember when I came to Harry, I was very shy. I couldn't even look at the camera. And I was always trying to hold the book because I was nervous. I remember Harry pushing me on stage just to learn to stand on the stage. Well, I didn't even know how to stand. So the steps is that when you get a trainer, like for my own, I got Harry to train me. If you have a trainer, they will show you the teaching steps, just like, how to stand, how to, look at the camera and also the audience. I remember the first time I was on stage, I nearly peed in my pants. Actually, I actually did because it was so overwhelming. Because I was told that nobody was on stage, and I found about 10 people. So that was like scary. But by taking the training courses, I was doing every week, because some people might be born speakers, but for those of you that are not, if you are like me, I had to train. Harry is a very good mentor, taking me training, and I now learned how to put my points down and also get my point of my story, because there's no point talking if you don't have point of story. So that was when it started to make sense, and I could actually put a speech by myself where I have to show Harry. Then it was then I started getting confidence, and before I knew it, people started calling me. I didn't even know I was going to speak to over 10,000 people in India. So that was how my confidence grew. So I think it's good to get training from a reputable and knowledgeable person. So today, because of all this, it's brought me money, financial freedom, and also it's important. I could use, by speaking, I can change people's life. That is more important, because I'm particular about reinventing women. Because we women, sometimes we see life as probably, I'm born like this, that's how I'm going to remain. But you know what? You can reinvent yourself just by talking and speaking. And once you are there, you can change others. So it's good for everyone to learn to speak. Because if I can learn to speak from coma, you all are champions. I'm just an amateur, but I got there. So get a good trainer like Harry if you want, and they will help you, because he's very good. If you can teach somebody who was brain dead, that earlier I was brain dead. Yes, I was brain dead.
Yeah.
If I can learn to become a speaker on stage in an international, even I'm going to Philippines in November as well. So
and a very powerful speaker, Adaobi. I had to say, one of the most powerful speaker that I ever seen. She just won the first prize in the last motivational speaking contest that we did. All of you remember this book, Reinvent Yourself, Discover the Brilliance Within and Create Infinite Positive Possibilities. You can find it in Amazon, and you can download it and learn how can you reinvent yourself. It's available in Amazon. Please support Adaobi and get her book. So Adaobi, now goes one question. When it comes to speaking on a stage, what do you prefer? Large audiences like in India with 3,000 people, or small audiences in London with 200 people? Which one is more challenging, or which one you become more comfortable speaking with?
I liked the two. I like speaking on stage with large audiences, and I also like speaking on by Zoom, because you connect. But my preference is with large audience.
Live audience.
Yeah.
Which one, bigger one or smallest one?
Big one.
Big one.
Because
wow.
Once I finish,
You're not scared?
I learned from you not to be scared.
Not scared, eh?
No, people have come to me after speaking. They said, they touched me. They said, Adaobi, thank you for coming here today. Because of you, I have changed my life. Because I've been here, I've been listening to you on Zoom. So the fact that I can impact one person with my story and make another woman to change their habits, that is all I want to do. That for me is rewarding, because being able to influence another person is very important. And that's how I've been getting my keynote speaking. Because once people see me live, they can touch me, they can feel me, and they can come to me and I sign their autograph. So that's why I like the live audience, because I can touch, feel, and reconnect with them.
Excellent, Adaobi. So here we have the 5 steps to reinvent yourself and motivate people. Number 1 step is go for it. Remember, when you are stuck in life, when you feel that you have this dream that you want to achieve, but then you are stuck, you don't know what to do. It's about taking the decision and go for it. This is what Adobe did in with her story, right? After she has 5 heart attacks, she said, now that I almost died, I wanted to live and I want to fulfill my dreams. And the dream was writing a book. Her dream was become an international speaker. Her dream was to help people, especially women, to reinvent themselves so they can fulfill the dreams and be empowered. So the step number 1 is, out of the 5 steps how to reinvent yourself, motivate people, is take that decision and said, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna live my dreams. Step number 2 is write down your goals. Remember, Adobe, write down how you want to live that life, how you really wanted to do it, and then you write it down, and then you do it again and again and again, and it's like bigger effect, like a math mind, because you every day you're gonna be writing those goals, and those goals is gonna go inside your mind. Yes. Step 3, write the book. Write the book, because writing that book is going to give you the authority, and is going to make you an expert in your field, especially that title, Reinvent Yourself. It has been Adobe's message all over the world, and for that, find a mentor that actually can guide you in the right path, so you can have the message. Step number 4, build your brand. Build your brand is what Adobe was sharing. It's not only writing the book, it's about be consistent with your message, and every time that you go to a TV, every time that you go to the newspaper, every time that you go to speak, always speak about your brand, about reinvent yourself, and that will let the audience know what specifically are you talking about, what specifically you're up to, yes, and what's your message. And step number 5 is become a speaker, right? Because the only way that you can motivate people is by going to a stage or in the Zoom meeting and become an international speaker. So Adobe, you have spoke in front of different audiences, like students in the hospital, in London, in our audiences several times at our events, in Dubai, to entrepreneurs, to Women Empowerment Summit. So you have different audiences. So which one is your favorite audience, and why?
My favorite audience is the students.
The students. Yeah.
Yes, because I have been able to influence them to see the world in a different way. So now I have people that in school that contact me, and they want to learn how to plan their life, so that when they start early, it's easy for them to continue that life. And you remember, their brain is still fresh. So helping students and younger people are my main interest. And also then the women, because the women are the ones that build the family. So after the children, the women.
Okay, very good. So first, the favorite audience is students, and after women. Yeah. Okay, very good. And then Adobe, out of this situation that the world is living right now, we couldn't do events. We couldn't do events anymore live with the live audience, so we have to do it online. I am aware that you have participated in more than 25 conferences online in Singapore, in US, here in London. So how you prepare yourself for a speech online? Do you like it? Are you getting used to it? And how you feel in front of the camera now compared when we compare with to be on a stage is completely different. Yes, today I had to say that I see you very, very confident in the camera, very flowing. Yeah, the interview is going very well. Congratulations. So you can tell that Adaobi it has a very very good way and approach in front of the camera, so you can tell that she has done this several times, but it's also challenging. So Adaobi, what was your process to train yourself to deliver conference and speeches in front of the camera, and how you can motivate people from in front of the camera doing this?
Delivering speeches like Zoom meetings, I've done that several times. But what I do is that prepare my mind on the day of the conference or talk, make sure I have a light breakfast. At least, don't eat too much, otherwise that will take my mind off. Just be ready to let your energy flow. Sometimes I have a trampoline.
Yeah.
I jump on my trampoline just to get my energy, because you are going to sit down and be looking at the audience for probably about 1 hour or 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I just jog about just to get my energy. Then I have a glass of water ready on my table so that I don't start feeling thirsty or anything. But the most important, I have jotted down the points I'm going to speak on so that I don't forget them. I will have been practicing like for 2 or 3 days. I just read them, glance at them, but on the day, I just read it again, because when I'm talking, I don't look at the paper, because if it's something, but if I feel that they are complicated points, I could just write them out and just rehearse them. So that's how I've been. Unlike initially, I used to hide behind my Zoom camera, but my head would be like not fully on the picture. But now I have been trained by Harry to learn to set my camera properly. And then I became confident. And you know what? I even get comments, people telling me that I'm doing good, I'm speaking well. Some people say they like my voice. So those are the things, once you start, you actually get feedback. Sometimes you might get the negative one. Don't worry. Not everyone is going to like you. After all, not everybody likes to eat bread. Even if bread is nice. So people eat different things. So just be confident, deliver your message. My motivation is passing my message clearly to the people.
Very good.
And once I give my message clearly, I just know I've done my job.
And Adaobi, how you been? Because it has been challenging with the lights, the microphone, the technicality. But despite that, you managed to get the good lighting, the microphone, and you look amazing online. So it was difficult, all this technical thing, but how you managed? So this is your sheet that help you. You find your way in. So how you manage to put all the technicality to it? So every time that you're speaking in online conference all over the world, you look amazing, which is also part of your brand. Actually, when you see the virtual background of Adaobi speaking, it's very nice, black and gold, and it's very, very professional. So it was challenging to put all this together, Adaobi? Was difficult?
Well, I am not a technical person. I actually run away from technicality. But once I started, because I was already a member training with Harry, I learned something, because I was shown online on how to do it. So I didn't work by myself. So even though you are online, you still have support from Harry. So I was able to do it. And once I started doing it, my kids, they were in secondary school and they don't have time to show me. Sometimes they don't even understand what I'm doing. But I found that once you start, it's not too difficult. So I jump the hoops. The one I don't know, I contact Harry, because you are my main source of contact. So because of that, I've been able to know how to do my studio, know how to talk, know where to look. And it now became so easy for me that I look like a pro. That makes me more professional, getting me more keynote speeches.
Exactly. Yes, and like I said, in this situation the world had, Adobe had done minimum 25 online speeches all over the world in different categories, right? And what we like to say is that, remember everyone, the 5 steps how to reinvent yourself and motivate people, right? Is number 1, Adobe, which one it is? Go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Go for it. Take the decision. I can do it. Step number 2, write down the goals. Write down, and every single day do it. Step number 3, write the book. Write your book, and like this one, Reinvent Yourself. You can get it in Amazon. Just type Reinvent Yourself. Discover the brilliance within and create infinite possibilities. It's available in Amazon, and it's a great book that actually has took Adobe's message internationally all over the world. And find a mentor to help you to write that book. Step number 4, build your brand, because if you want people to listen to you, if you really want to change the world, if you really want people to listen to your message, you have to build that brand. So people start to take you seriously and people know what you're up to. So you're not talking about 100 different things. You're always talking about your brand, about your subject, and then a slightly variation, but never deviate from your main topic, because this is your brand. Yes. And number 5, become a motivational speaker. If you really want to motivate people, become a motivational speaker. So these are, to sum up, the 5 steps how to reinvent yourself and motivate people. Yes. Adobe, thank you so much for being here. You look amazing. You did amazing in the camera. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching this interview with this amazing author. Yes, and watch the space, because in whatever country you are, Adobe might go and do a talk and you don't want to miss, because she's a really powerful speaker, without a doubt one of the greatest motivational speakers in this planet, in my opinion, and one of the greatest speakers that I ever trained. So I'm very proud of you, Adobe. Very proud of your success. Keep living your life. Keep sharing your message. Keep empower everyone to reinvent themselves, because life, there is only one, and you deserve the best of it.